Hey, this is Thomas Mashad. Welcome back to Brain Doodles. And in this lesson of Memory Boost, we're going to start talking about listening. Not hearing, but listening. It's a very important skill, and it's something that really is going to take exercise on your part to really improve your ability to listen. So let's talk about this. And for this particular video, what I would like you to do is, if you haven't already, whether on your own or with your instructor, is to download the lesson for lesson 4. And under listening, there are some exercises that work in conjunction with this video. So make sure you have that before you continue on. Now, the first thing you need to know about visual note taking is that as you are listening to somebody, okay, that as you hear somebody speak the words and as it comes into your ears, okay, that if you are trying to write something out, oh, see, already I'm making a mistake. That's okay. That I'm going to correct that there. Making plenty of mistakes in lesson 4 with my spelling. That's not a problem. Okay, so as you try to write something out versus how somebody is speaking, you'll never keep up. Okay, that if we have a speedometer here, that we might write at 5 miles an hour or something like that, and somebody's talking at 70 miles an hour, maybe even faster for some people. And you say, well, I can type. Well, even for typing, you might only reach about 35 miles an hour or something like that. Okay, so here's the whole thing, is that we can never actually keep up. Okay, so if we're looking at the speedometer, that we're never going to hit 70 miles an hour if we're trying to write out our notes or even typing out our notes. Okay, visual notes allows us to, there's some things here, allows us to focus. It allows us to focus in on what's important when somebody's speaking. Okay, and remember, I'm going to put up a little word here, listen. So listening allows us to focus, not just hearing, but listening. Hearing is kind of a sense, all right, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Also, another benefit of visual note taking is that we have an improved ability to recall of what was said later by whomever was speaking. And also, it can help to decrease our level of frustration. Okay, we, as I said, can't write or type as fast as what somebody's speaking, and so if you're just kind of more or less hearing what they're saying and you're just trying to write out in linear fashion everything that they're trying to say, that's going to lead to frustration. Okay, you are not going to be a happy camper. All right, so you might have an initial frustration of trying to visually illustrate everything or just writing down keywords. And we'll talk about that as well, but don't let that frustrate you. Don't let it stop you from trying visual note taking. You'll really find out that a combination of words and letters can really reduce your overall frustration when trying to remember what your teacher is saying during lectures, or like when you get out into the business world of listening to other speakers speaking on particular subjects. Okay, so it's going to be very important that you listen. Listening takes a conscious effort by the individual. Okay, so you have to make the decision to listen. All right, it really forms a relationship with the speaker, and it's something that when you listen to people, whether it's the speaker, your teacher, or whether it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, somebody whom you're involved with, your very close friend, it really says that you value their time and what they are saying. It really helps to improve the relationship. And this is something that you must practice. You must practice over and over again. It's just not something that you end up doing. Okay? And it's something as well that for like for your first time out, or even finding videos or something like that of just listening and not viewing. Okay, viewing is a sense that we get a whole bunch of stuff in, and a lot of times we end up looking all around, and we no longer are listening. Okay, so if you can close your eyes and just listen, and it will help you to really just focus in on those words, and it will improve that sense of listening. Okay, so it really requires you also to be open. You don't want to sit there and use your brain to think about what it is that they're saying. That really is kind of an ugly looking brain, isn't it? And trying to form an opinion about what they're saying. Okay, you need to be open, so don't form the opinion. Okay, just listen to what they're saying, write down what they're saying, few key words, and then go back afterwards, and then once you have got all the information, then start to form the opinion of whatever it is that you're learning about. Okay, so we want to suspend that judgment. We don't want to analyze something. We don't want to critique it. We want to remove emotion and just listen, to be in the zone, of listening. Okay, so you heard of athletes being in the zone. This is kind of like your zone of listening. Okay, so put zone out here. You're in the zone of listening. Once you're in the zone, it helps you to focus, to recall, and reduce the level of your frustration. Okay, now it's with anything else, listening is an ability that you end up improving, much like your muscles. Okay, so if we have our little stick figure guy here, and he's listening, we'll put a big ear over there. That it is like increasing your muscle. Okay, so you're flexing your muscle of listening as you practice. It's like lifting weights. You can't start out with 100-pound dumbbells and expect to do bicep curls right away, unless you're a freak of nature, I suppose. But it takes practice to improve those muscle skills of listening. Okay, but it's worth it. It really is. And just stick with it. It's something to where if you don't continue on with it, you have periods of weakness. But the more that you do it, you become stronger. So keep practicing, keep doing it as much as you possibly can. Okay, and also by doing this and being in the zone and listening, that you're really honoring the speaker, which is also very, very important. Talking about that relationship, that when you are actively listening to somebody, it's saying to them that what they're saying matters and who they are matters. So that is really, really important in a key element of listening. Okay, so that's kind of the introduction, the overview of listening. And now what we're going to do is look at the tips of listening. We'll go through about 12 tips, and this is not something that I've developed. Plenty of others have done it before me, and the person that I learned it from was Sunny Brown, and she did a fantastic job of it. I am going to go through it more of an overview than what she does. And but if you can do the exercises that go along with this video, you can really start to improve your listening ability. Okay, so head on over to the next set of lessons dealing with the tips of listening.